Good morning. This lesson is for my honors integrated 1 classes and my integrated 1 classes. But before I get started, I want to say I hope that everyone's doing all right out there. I'm not sure how I'm going to title this lesson, but I'm going to title it how I title it, the title. What I am sure of are 2 goals for the day. Our first goal is going to be how to rewrite standard form inequalities into slope-intercept form, or turn into slope-intercept form. Our second goal is going to be to solve systems of linear inequalities in standard form. So I'd like to do a little bit of review, and as I look at this, I realize it's a little bit out of order. But what we want to do is we want to turn inequalities in this form into this form. And now I have a circle and a question mark because I don't know if it's a greater than or less than, greater than or equal or less than or equal. Same thing for this for slope-intercept form. So the way that we're going to review how to go from here to here real quick. So to rewrite in slope-intercept form, you need to solve for y. So I need to solve for this y to turn it into slope-intercept form. We only need 2 steps from the 7 steps that we use to solve for inequality. So I don't need step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I need step 5 and step 6. I don't need step 7 either. Step 5 to review is to add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the inequality symbol. It's a little slight variation for this. And step 6, divide away a number from the variable side of the inequality symbol. If you divide by a negative, remember that we must flip the inequality symbol. Again, there's a slight variation to these 2 steps when turning standard form into slope-intercept form. I also wanted to review with you the inequality symbols. This symbol and this symbol means that we shade below. If I have this symbol, it's a dashed line. If I have this symbol, it's a solid line. This symbol and this symbol mean that I shade above. Again, if I have that symbol, I have a dashed line, and if I have that symbol, I have a solid line. And I just talked about standard form and slope-intercept form. And one more thing, I'm completely going out of order. One more thing is the shading is the solution. So in inequalities, the shading is the solution. All right, so our first goal is to rewrite standard form inequalities into slope-intercept form. And I have to add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the inequality symbol. Remember, we're trying to isolate y. We want to get y by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the inequality symbol. That means I'm actually going to add the 4x. So I'm going to move that to the other side. That cancels out. I get 2y greater than or equal to 4x plus 6. I did step 5. Now I need to do step 6. Divide away a number from the variable side of the inequality symbol. If we divide by a negative, flip the inequality symbol. I need to divide away a 2. It's a positive number, so I do not need to flip the inequality symbol. This cancels out. Y is greater than or equal to, that becomes a 2x plus a 3. So that's how I would turn this inequality in standard form into an inequality in slope-intercept form. And we want to do this because we may have to flip the inequality symbol. We go from one form to the other, and that'll impact if we're going to shade above or below. I gotta get those words out. All right, so here's a second example here. So again, I'm going to add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the inequality symbol, and we're solving again for y. We need to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract my 5x because that's a positive 5x, and I'm going to add that to both sides. That cancels out. Make sure you don't lose that negative. So minus 3 is greater than 5x minus 4. And then we're going to divide away a minus 3. That cancels out. Now since we divided by a negative, that flips. That becomes 5 over a negative 3x. Minus minus becomes a plus. Plus 4 over 3. So again, this would be us turning an inequality in inequality in standard form into slope-intercept form. And again, we just added or subtracted away, and then we divided. So we only need to do 2 steps. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check off the first goal, how to rewrite standard form inequalities in slope-intercept form. And let's talk about the second goal, graphing or solving systems of linear inequalities in standard form. So the second goal here is to solve the system of linear inequalities. What this means is we want to find where the shading overlaps. remember, the shading is the solution. Okay. So again, like I did with these two inequalities, I need to put these into slope-intercept form. And so the first one, I'll do that by subtracting a 3x first to both sides of the inequality symbol. And I'm going to work this problem out in purple, and I'll graph it in purple so it becomes very clear where this is. So negative 4y is left over left or below minus 3x plus 16. Let's divide away that negative 4. Divide everybody by that negative 4. And that's the slight variation I mentioned earlier. So we're going to go, the shading is above now because we divided by a negative. A negative is a positive, so 3 over 4x minus a 4. So let's graph this guy. So I begin at negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because my b is negative 4. And I move up 3. I go up 3 and right 4. So I go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. My line is solid, and I shade above. My line is solid. I airballed that a little bit, I'll adjust that. And I shade above. So this would be the solution to that first inequality. Let me erase this a little bit. We'll do the other one in red. So let's add the x to both sides. We'll make that a 1x, so we'll add 1x to both sides. That cancels out. I get 3y is greater than 1x plus 9. Let's divide away the 3. And we get the shading is above 1 over 3x plus 3. 3 goes to 9 3 times. My b equals 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm rising. Let's see here. My m is 1 over 3, so I rise. Let me write that in a better location. My m is 1 over 3, so I'm going to rise 1 and run 3. So I go up 1 and then right 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, and my line is dashed, and I'm going to shade above. My line is dashed, and I'm going to shade above. Okay, let me erase this here. It might have been better if I had more room when I did this. But again, we want to turn that into slope-intercept form, because when we graph or when we're solving, we may have to switch that as we solve, which I just erased. So the solution that we have to this system of linear inequalities is everything above this dashed line. That is the solution, because that is where the shading overlaps. So this was a short little lesson on how to solve systems of linear inequalities in standard form. We put them into slope-intercept form, graph both in the same graph, and find out where the shading overlaps. So I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. Again, I hope everyone is doing all right out there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.